What's going on, guys? Welcome to Tech Savvy Buyer. So the PS Vita first launched in 2012 and then got a refresh for a slim model, as pictured here, in 2014. So this model is officially 5 years old since we are in 2019. And Sony has shared over and over and over again that they're going to stop production for the PS Vita this year. So knowing that you're not going to get production anymore and you're probably not going to find any more of these consoles being produced new, does it still make sense to pick one of these up today? Let's take a look. So welcome back, guys. Let's start off with a quick unboxing. Since I did pick this up off of eBay, I want to see what we kind of got inside. I'm pretty excited to see how the condition is of this because so far from what I can tell, it is not sealed. I don't know if that's how they originally shipped or not, but we've seen Nintendo do similar things and not put seals on their Switches, for example. So let's take a look at that unboxing and let's meet back. So here is the PS Vita that I ordered off of eBay, guys. And it looks like it's in pretty good shape. The box doesn't look like it's been beat up too much. Obviously this is a Japanese version because you can't seem to find any new ones here in the States anymore unless you go ahead and buy them secondhand pre-owned. Now the seller did mention that this was brand new, but it's interesting that there's no seal here. So let's find out. All right, let's see what we get in here. Okay, so in front we get our typical set of manuals, it looks like, and I believe these are all Japanese. Yeah. Yep, everything's in Japanese, so I can't read that. Sorry, guys. More Japanese manuals. More. All right, what else we got here? So it looks like, all right, we've got a power adapter cable and we've got a micro USB cable, it looks like. Yeah, well, that's neat. And the actual power brick. Which leaves the last item. And, oh wow, that is one sharp looking device. I like that color a lot. So you still got your cartridge port on top, and on the bottom you've got a micro USB charge, memory stick, headphone jack, and that's pretty much it. They took away some of the other stuff from the original one. Let's go ahead and power this bad boy on. It works. Great, but that is the unboxing, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into some of the cool features that this thing has, and if this is on the right firmware, I'm gonna go ahead and hack this bad boy. So I'll see you guys here in a few. So here it is in all of its glory, guys. I went ahead and got a verification that the software version on this is 3.68, so I was able to go ahead and hack it in between the time that you guys saw the unboxing, and I've played around with it a little bit just to see what kind of cool stuff you could do. Now, the PS Vita was really widely regarded as a commercial failure, and let me address that reason why. It's pretty simple. The device was expensive. All the peripherals needed for the device were expensive as well. In some cases, the memory card for the PS Vita was more expensive than the PS Vita itself. And that's true to this day. If you want to go pick up a 4GB memory card from GameStop, it's $20 for a 4GB PS Vita memory card. Which still sucks, guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat that in any aspect. The games for this device were also very expensive. You're looking at similar pricing that you would pay for a flagship title on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, or at the time a PS3. So those are really the main reasons why the PS Vita was considered a commercial failure. It was expensive, there wasn't a lot of support for it, there weren't a lot of games, and a lot of the accessories for it were expensive as well. However, 7 years later, the story's changed quite a bit. There's a ton of games that you can play on the PS Vita, and they're not just PS Vita games. You can play PSP games, you can play PS1 games, and now the fact that you can actually hack the device, like I mentioned, opens up a plethora of different types of gameplays that you can experience with your Vita. So hacking it doesn't necessarily mean that the only thing you're going to be able to do is put game backups and play pirated games. That's not what it's all about. What you'll actually be able to do with this now is load PlayStation 1 games, you'll load PSP games, you'll be able to load Super Nintendo games, Sega Genesis games, and even different ports of games such as Doom, Hexen, things like that that were really fun to play back on PC in the day. Another cool thing that you can do with this now, since it's been hacked, is that you can actually stream your PC over to this using Moonlight. So if you have a GeForce GPU inside your PC and you want to play some of those games on the go, you can do it. Now, I wouldn't recommend that you do that, to be honest, and the reason is, in my testing with it, there's a 2.4 gigs Wi-Fi chip in this, and that card is not very strong. So if you want to stream latency-free gaming, you're not going to get that experience on this. Plus, there's a lack of a L2 and R2 button on this as well, which make most of today's games kind of hard to play for this. But aside from the hack scene and being able to play backups and being able to do all those different cool things with the Vita that you couldn't do when it first launched, there's a couple other things that I think are really solid about this device. One that people don't really talk about is its battery life. For a portable device running a 5-inch screen and that crisp resolution, although it is only 544p, which today is like, you know, really, really crappy by all means, but it doesn't look bad, guys. You still squeeze out 6 hours of battery life from this device, which is pretty impressive considering that Nintendo Switch doesn't even do about half of that, unless you play on like completely dim brightness where it's not fun. So the battery life on this is really, really good. In addition to that, like I mentioned before, the ergonomics of this, holding it, and the fact that they've made it slimmer and being able to put in your pocket makes it just easier to go around. Now, the thing that plagued it during launch was its price tag. It came in around $249, then a couple of years later got a price drop to $200, and the price is still kind of floating around that. But because of the fact that production is going away, you're most likely not going to be able to get a new one, and you can find used ones for as cheap as $100 these days. For $100, this is way, way, way more than worth any other kind of handheld device that you can probably even consider purchasing. Despite the fact that it is at the end of its life cycle, there's still a lot of value in this, and it's not just from hacking it. Like I mentioned, it also comes from the vast library of games that you can play on it. Sony has given it quite a bit of support in games. Although it wasn't a huge success here, it was a wild success in Japan because a lot of different RPG style games came out for the Vita in that region, and a lot of people over there prefer to play those types of games. And perhaps one of the biggest features of the Vita, which everyone probably already knows about, is the remote play capability. You're able to stream all of your games from your PlayStation 4 onto your Vita and play them on the go. And you don't need to be connected to a local area network, so it doesn't have to be in your home. You can actually do this over the internet. Now, the experience in playing it is not bad at all. As long as you have a pretty strong home network, you should be able to play this system really well in a latency kind of free environment. Now, there are third-party products that you could buy to get you the L2 and R2 thing, you know, the feature that makes it more capable of reacting like or behaving like a DualShock 4 controller, so that you can use when you're streaming your PC or you can use when you do remote play from your PlayStation 4. Adding that on just makes the system a complete beast. So would I recommend someone to go ahead and pick this up in 2019? The answer is simply yes, guys. It's cheap, it's got a good library of games, you can hack it, it's got great battery life, and it still looks really, really crisp, clean, and fresh. The menu is still very vibrant, the screen looks great despite it moving from an OLED to an LCD, and you've got a vast selection of things that you could do on this out of the box that you could not do on a Nintendo Switch. You could load different apps on here. You even have an internet browser, which is something that you don't have on a Nintendo Switch today. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think a PS Vita is still worth it today? Would you go ahead and purchase one if you had a chance to? And if you already have one, let me know what your favorite game is in the comment section below. As usual, guys, if you like this content, go ahead and smash that like button. And if you're new to this channel, maybe consider subscribing. But until then, stay smiling, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace out.